Hey, welcome back to Depew Shop. This is a new series, 7 parts, and we're going to be showing you a slideshow of all the past builds I did before I was at YouTube. So at least I can share with you guys some builds that I did and hopefully inspire you. This particular video is going to be about mountain bikes. So sit back and enjoy the slideshow. I'm going to talk a little bit about every bike that I did, hopefully keeping one bike per minute so it'll be nice and quick, won't bore you. But I hope, like I said, my goal is to inspire you on your next builds and at least enjoy looking at some cool old bikes. So let's get started. All right, to start off, we have a Trek 990 single track. This is the top of the line steel bike back in the day. It had Tangy, was it XO? Fully lugged steel frame, and it was beautiful. I got the bike. It didn't have a fork or handlebars or anything like that, so I had to find some replacements for it. But it had full Shimano Dior DX, which is a really good group set, curve and cranks. I put some carbon bars on it and found some DX shifters and some Amazon type aluminum fork there. But overall, this bike was super cool, and another one I wish I still had. All right, next we have a Specialized Stumpjumper FSR. Now this was one of the, well, I guess the second generation of full suspension mountain bikes by Specialized. This one needed a lot of work. It was tired. I had to get a new rear shock. I did put some wider bars and a much shorter stem. It had one of those 160 millimeter stems or something like that. But overall, this thing was kind of cool. Not much of a mountain bike as far as, I mean, it was still pogo sticky driving it down the trail, but pretty cool piece of history and overall a nice bike, and it made someone happy. All right, the next is another Stumpjumper. This is a M2, I believe, Stumpjumper. It had a nice Judy front fork with a disc brake in the front, and we had V brakes in the back. Had Shimano XT drivetrain. This was a really nice hardtail, kind of just a really cool little XC bike. It had carbon bars, and generally, this was a beast of a bike. But it had to move on. It didn't really have the great balance that I thought it was going to have. But so anyways, we sold it. All right, now this next Specialized was something else. It was an M4 full suspension bike, and it had everything top of the line. SID forks, XTR mech. It had Mavic wheels. We had Specialized tires. It was everything. Fox, XTR, you name it. It was the top of the line. The only thing that it didn't work for me is it was really small. I would have kept it. It would have been an awesome bike, but it had to move on. But it was a thrill and a treat to always work on these top of the line bikes. All right, moving on. We've got a Schwinn Paramount PDG 30. So this was a full LX build. These PDGs, Paramount mountain bikes, were really nice. They were kind of a step down from a homegrown, but this was a chromoly steel frame, an absolute dream bike. So solid. Obviously not the highest spec on this one, but this is one of my top ones that I remember having that was really a nice bike. Just all around perfect. And it was restored to just the way it was when it was new. And then here we have another Schwinn. It's the Impact Pro. And this is another one, similar DNA to the Paramount I just showed you, but a little lower spec than that. I can't remember. It had probably like Shimano's X Cage or whatever they have on it. And not quite as nice, but still very nice, solid bike. This one was also, it was in rough shape when I got it, and it turned out to be a really nice build when it was all done. There again, these old steel mountain bikes, just like butter. You can't kill them, and they go forever and ever and ever. All right, here we got the weird one, the Klein Mantra Comp. Ass up, head down, XC bike. It's actually really light. It's in the low 20-pound range, but such a strange bike. This thing was famous for if you were going steep down a hill, it would buck you straight over the bars because of the way the suspension was designed. I actually still have this bike. It's sitting in the back, just getting dust on it, but it's like a timepiece, masterpiece of, mountain bike innovation from the time. 100% stock, full Shimano STX RC, and some killer V brakes. This thing is pretty cool, but it's really an awful mountain bike when it comes down to it. But it looks cool, and it's a piece of history. And then I had another Klein, and obviously you guys recognize this one. This, everyone wants to have one of these. I wish I still had it. It was too small for me, so it was no use keeping it around. Of course, beautiful Klein paint job. This one wasn't perfect, but it was kind of cool to be able to own one for a while and mess around with it and restore it. Of course, it came with all the good stuff like XT and XTR stuff, and Cook Brothers crankset and whatnot. But yeah, you know what? These come and go, and wish I still had it, but I'll keep my eye out for another one. All right, the last bike in this video is this Barracuda A2 MS. These are some before pictures of how nasty it was, and the front forks were gone. So I did restore it. Little. I'm not sure if I'm thrilled with what I did with it, but with the funny colors, I was trying to tie in the colors of the frame. But I did put a nice RockShox Judy on there. It was rebuilt, painted to match. Some Race King, Continental tires, and these kind of weird colored bars and pedals and so forth. But anyways, I did sell this bike to a girl, and she absolutely loved it. So I guess I wasn't too far off the mark. But another cool piece of history, Barracuda as a bicycle brand only was around for about 3 or 4 years, and then they were sold to Ross, and then they were dissolved. So kind of sad, but they were kind of a piece of mountain biking history, and I was glad I got a hold of this one anyways. There you go. I hope you liked it. Hope it inspired you. Hope you liked the builds. Preferably, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments about what you saw. Also, there's links in the description below with my website and any kind of product links of stuff that I've used in the past. And we'll see you on the next video. All right, bye.